Pre-show, baby, pre-show. We're gonna start in about 6 minutes. So yeah. Oh yeah, y'all like that, don't you? That's that new flavor. Know what I mean? Something I'm working on for the video game Crashers. Gotta write some lyrics though. I started it yesterday. Here we go. Yo, I wanna fin and the pin and chin and the sim on the bun and come on the bum on the symbol bun and the fin and them. I'm on the sound on the camera jam with the crown with the beam with down with the jam on the gear and I'm on the criminal. I'm like a criminal synonym. I'm a rim and the venom. I'm a simmer, criminal zip. I'm a trigger man. I'm on my slipper cause I'm a criminal. Remember the primer, simmer, river. I gotta write 64 bars, making sure it's all large and stuff. Anyway, it doesn't matter, cause I'm about to splatter all of the better, fatter, from the sadder, patter. Anyway, it's gonna be tight. I like the flow, I like the speed. It's my first trap track. I didn't realize how easy it is to rhyme the trap music. I don't know why I was so against it. If you think about it. The BPM is 150. And you're basically rhyming half speed at like 75 or something. So easy. Unless you go fast, like I'm about to banana put the bow. I put in the sample now beat bum bow. I'm on the sound with the vibe with the bip and some with the mouth with the round. Let's get something like that. Maybe not. Maybe whack. It'll be better than that. Yeah. 3 minutes, y'all. Gentlemen, I'ma just sitting back and I'm black exact when I'm sending them. I'm making sure I'm that better dependent and then send you back to the beginning. Then you will see how that I created all the earth and dispersed them. How you birth and work and how you squirt and work and how the words be like words and how they swords be like words and like deserves be like herds and how the surge be like oceans and I be motion and floating and I be lotion on skin and I be wanting to then and I be back to begin. And I be symbols of bin. I be like mother then. I be the holiest sin. I be like holy amends. And mama don't let offends. I'm a goalie, but bends. I'm a zone with solar, but bends. I'm a moly goalie, but sense of the Holy Ghost. to the industry. I'm a goal of a industry. I'm a soul of a industry. I'm a soul of a me. I think I need to breathe. I think I take a chance, yo. Take a chance. That's the only lyric I wrote. Take a chance. Take a chance, yo. It's very random. I'm scanning the words of the world in the sand in the hand. I got the 20-sided dice. Yes, I'm gonna be rolling it nice. Check it, put them in it nice. Yo, what's up, y'all? It's the R9cast. The official Blind Dish Kunko Christian Soup Dope Show for Reservoir9.com, RubberDanOgain.com. I am an ElectronBandit.com. Hey, let's put that in there too. I am Stephen D. Gibson, aka SG, aka Electron Bandit, aka I was lazy today, and all that good stuff. I'm gonna turn the music off now. Goodbye, music. Now, a good how do you say, I don't know, a host person would be like, be able to fade it out without having to say I'm fading it out. So I'm bad. I'm not good. I'm good. I'm bad. Bad meaning, you know what I'm saying. Anyway, yeah. So, I was lazy today. I didn't do nothing. But before I tell you about the nothing that I did, which was nothing is something. Yeah. You wanna join the conversation? I should actually open it. Go to Discord. I'm gonna put the link in a chat. I have 3 chats open. 3 chat open, 1 chat leave. Discord. You can go to All Games Discord. You could go to my Discord, which is R9cast Discord. You could go to YouTube on Electron Bandit, the Electron Bandit channel. Streaming there too. Go to Facebook. If you know my name, I told you before, we weren't paying attention. Go to my Facebook page. I'm streaming there too. You could go to my Twitch channel, which is twitch.tv/R9cast. I'm streaming there too. Yeah, so you can do those things. Quality may vary. Your mileage may vary, cause our internet sucketh really good. I mean, it really sucks really good. Here we go again on my bone. Sorry. Twitch. I watched the Gamescom thing. I was sleeping. I was like, do da doo 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 do da doo 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 do da doo 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 doo. Totally forgot what the link was. I suck at typing. I suck at saying words too. NTTP. Actually, I'm just gonna paste them because my brain don't work like that. My friends. Anyway, so yeah, so today I was super lazy, and I was just like, psh. Well, actually, what happened was What happened was, let me see if this works. I was yesterday. I got a allergy attack. If y'all don't know what that is, you probably don't know what it is. I just made it. I don't know if that's an actual thing, but basically, I get the allergies. Some grass or something goes up my nose, and I'm like, choo. I sneeze like all day, no stopping, maybe a couple of breaths. But by the end of the day, I'm a little tired, from sneezing a lot. Sneezing takes a lot out of you when you do it for like 12 hours straight. And so my lungs hurt, my back hurt. She like, you got COVID? I'm like, it's not COVID, I got the allergy. This happens. And I know how it happens. I sneeze all day. I feel like crap. I take super drugs, go to sleep, wake up. I'm all right. So today I'm all right. I mean, I was still a little, but I'm all right. Got the AC blazing because, I don't know. Global warming? I don't know. It's hot. Está hace calor afuera and stuff. It's humidity, whatever. Power your dreams. So I'm looking at the stream, so it's going to be delayed. So I'm a dummy. Anyway, so today I sit on the couch. And she was like, oh, don't do nothing. I'm like, okay. He's like, you're going to tell me half of once I'm not going to do nothing. All right, so wait, did I do all the links? I don't think I did the link. I did Twitch. I did. Wait, I wonder if this one. Let me see where this one goes. This one, does that one go to? Yeah, it does. Yes. Yeah. Okay, it goes to the video. Good. That's good. Okay, so I'll put this Discord somewhere over the rainbow. Wait, don't tell me this. I should do all of this in my chat too. Why not? Why should all games get all the shine? Skies are blue. Something, the rainbow, something, you. That's not the words. Anyway, so I was, oh my god, I put it twice. Let's delete that one. Dummy. Delete message. Sorry. Deleted. This one I wanted to put. YouTube. I want people to show up on YouTube, yo. Because I want that YouTube money. There's no such thing as YouTube money. I mean, there is. But your boy not getting it. You know why? You know why? You want to know why? You want to know why? I hate when people do that. It's like you're a little kid. You know when little kids are little kids? And they just repeat the same thing over and over again. Like, mama, 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 mama. I know it's like the Family Guy thing, but it's true. Kids do that because they want their attention. And if you keep saying it, I don't know why. How did they learn? How do kids learn to do that? Is that like I think that's an instinctual thing, right? Because you see like little animals, like little alligator. I'm okay. Most babies are cute. Alligators, compared to what they grew up into, they're cute little baby alligator. They're chirping like yeah, 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 yeah. Whatever they do, right? That sounds like it, right? That's the equivalent to the human baby saying mama, 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 mama. What? Slow motion backhand, because that's the technique. Learned it from my mama. I mean, she showed me firsthand how it She showed me. She used me as a target, and she was like, it's like One Punch Man. My mama was like one backhand slap mama. That's what I should do an anime where I replace all the One Punch Man with my mama, and she's like back slapping food like in every instant. That would be dope. If I could draw like that, I would do that. I would like to watch that. I'd just be laughing at myself. Like, I'd be like, mama. And that's what would happen. All right, so where did I leave off here? War of the graphics cards. That's YouTube. Do I have a Twitch? Where's my Twitch? Oh, it's right here. It's Twitch. Man, I need to do this. One more time. Oh, can I just go here and copy it? I think I can copy it from here. And then I will tell you other things. What does that mean? Am I? No, I'm not. Come on, go. Go there. Da-da. And that's good enough. All right. So the app for what is this again? The app for blah blah blah. Okay, I'm just gonna close Discord because it doesn't. It's like whatever. So okay, whatever. But the browser, who cares? I don't want to. It doesn't matter. I just want the chat. As long as the chat's working. Let me see if the chat's working. And then we'll get into talking about stuff. Like how lazy I was today. Yeah, it works. Okay, cool. Anyway, so I'm on the couch all day. I was like, oh, let me watch some YouTube. Watch a few YouTube. Got bored. Oh, let's watch a movie. No, we didn't do that. We watched something. What did we watch? Little tiny house nation, whatever. Oh, I'm gonna get a little house, and then oh man, our condo was 1,700 square feet. How can we live in 280 square feet? Bleebity bloobity. I'm like, and then the father of the daughter of the, I don't know, it's garbage. Then they make it. It's like, oh, this is nice, but not for me. It's like, it's funny. Anyway, we watched that dumb show. Then I played Grounded for way too long. I played it for like 4 hours. Probably like 4 hours. I don't know. I played a long. That's a game
That's a all right. So there's podcasts out there. Podcasts, you call them podcasts. They're really just YouTube. There's a bunch of fools on Google Hangouts screaming and hollering and healing and hominomaling, saying loud stuff. That's Starscream. He's in trouble. You go there, Starscream. You son of a bastard. Anyway, okay. There are some podcasts out there. I'm not gonna name them names yet. But there's some podcasts out there that need a producer. Now I'm not volunteering my services because I'm not a producer, and I need to fix this real quick because that's how much of a producer I'm not. God dog it, hold on, you son of a gun. There you go. I still got a little down there, but I don't care about that. Anyway. They need help because I'm sitting there and I'm like, I listen to it because sometimes they be cracking on each other, and that's what the magic of this show in particular that I'm not gonna name is really it's like it's a debate, quote unquote, but not really. It's just a bunch of dudes, because there's no ladies, no females. Just a bunch of guys yelling at each other, blah, 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 blah. No games, blah, blah, blah. 9.2 teraflops, blah, blah. I'm like, okay. And sometimes they be cracking on each other, and then sometimes, and I'm like, but the problem isn't so much, some of the content is a problem as far as if you're looking at the wider, the wider aspect of gaming, and you want to be like, oh, I'm going to be a gamer. I want to be in the popular gaming sphere. Certain things you shouldn't be saying on a regular basis every day. You can say it to your friends, you can say it to your fam, your cousins, whatever, right? Sometimes you say some stuff, in private. I'm sure Trump says a whole bunch of stuff in private that he doesn't say in public. Because, he may not be the smartest the smartest tool in the shed, but he ain't that dull. But so content, some of it, but I'm not an audiophile, as you could tell. You get AC. Does it look like look, there's a point where you're like, yo, I just need to I can't do it without the AC. So I'm gonna rectify that one day when I expand. But that's not the sound quality. The sound of the show is so bad that the host, okay, first of all, his should be the best, right? His should be the juiciest. He should be like, yeah, that mic sounds good. And sometimes it does, but he has no concept of compression. He has no concept of, I guess he doesn't understand how microphones work really, because he's like, blah, 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 blah. He does a little bit because he backs up when he's going to scream and stuff. So I'm like, all right. But sometimes it's just like, yo, I don't know if he goes back to listen. Wow. He does, because he puts out videos. A lot of it doesn't sound good. And I'm like, yo, I'm this close to not listening to it anymore, because I'm like, I can't. My brain cannot. I cannot afford the cycles of my brain to conjugate that noise into audible things that I understand. It's a lot of work. And it's trouble. You know that you got issues when the people listening to your show got to work in order to understand. It's like I'm trying to conjugate. I'm trying to translate a different language to understand. Like I'm watching a Spanish channel, and I'm like, oh, I want to see it, but I gotta translate, and I'm not good at Spanish. So that's what it's like. And the last show, they had some other podcast guests on their show, and they were talking about video games, and they were talking about, why would you want to buy an Xbox Series X this holiday? What reason do you have to buy an Xbox Series X? And they don't like Xboxes. Used to, but not anymore, because of reasons. And there's a whole bunch of these guys. I don't call them ponies, but there's a whole bunch of guys who are mad at Microsoft mad at Xbox because of reasons and because they feel that that Microsoft aren't representing, they're not putting out quality games, or there's different reasons for different people. And if you step back, take your personal beef with Microsoft, with Phil Spencer, with whatever happened to you, wherever Xbox touched you, it's okay. We could talk about that later. But what I'm saying is, take a step back. Take a step back outside of yourself and look at the industry. Look at the products. Look at the competition. Look at the economy. Look at the world state. Look at the state of mind of the populace of the world and different regions, of course. And think to yourself, gamers. There are different sects of gamers, if you will. I used to be a graphics whore. I was like, yo, Sega Master System got more colors than Nintendo. It's better. The graphics is better on Sega Master System. That's how I start. I didn't start off there. I started off in arcade, and I was like, yo, I can't get this at home. I like this right here. I'm in love with our Sega or something. And from going from, I'm about to go back into my history. I'm not gonna looking at the industry, looking at what each company, each player, the three, I would say, Nintendo, Sony, Microsoft, those three companies, looking at them, what they're doing, what they have done, from the end of, or from the beginning of this gen going into next gen, taking all of those things into account, which one would you back? Which one, like, if you were just a money time investor, right? You'd be like, looking at, don't look at the market, don't look at what they got, look at, what the trend is, what the future is. Because if you say, oh, well, they got it in the bag because they won last time, I mean, you could say that, but Xbox 360 was the winner, quote unquote winner, last time, and they were like, oh, they got it in the bag. People gonna buy Xbox, of course. That didn't work out, did it? So Pony's thinking that Sony's market share is gonna just catapult them into the winning position again is short-sighted, and it's like history repeats itself. Sony messed up PS3. They corrected during the PS3 era, right? Got some games, PS4 launches, boom, they're pretty good. Xbox messed up. Xbox handed them the victory, right? This time's different. Xbox ain't playing right now. The Series X, they're like, shoot. Okay, first of all, we got the most powerful powers. We got all the powers. Everything is better except for the speed of the SSD, but it's like 2 gigabytes per second difference. If you want to be real about it, because Sony's slick, so sneaky Sony, boy, I swear. What Sony does, when they give y'all numbers, they be like, oh, 10.2 teraflops, blah, blah, blah. It's like, no, what's that? They're giving you the maximum speed ever possible. That's as fast as you gonna get forever, never, ever. That's not consistently 10.2, no, right? And it's the same with the SSD speed. And so what Microsoft did, they said they gave an average of consistent, reliable speed or performance. So they said 2.4 raw, 4.8 compressed, and they said realistically it's like 6, but they were like, yeah, but we want to give you some numbers that are close to reality, not inflated. Sony's giving you the top numbers that are possible in the best of conditions ever. So they're like, yeah, man, 5.5, boy, 9. I'm like, okay, yeah, it's faster. And I'm not saying it's not going to be faster, but I think the gulf of how fast is it compared to the Xbox Series X is not, it's not as big, and I don't think we'll see a difference, honestly. Another thing about the speed of the actual APU, it's variable, and that's not good. That's not good. It's like if you got a computer, Your computer's probably variable. You go in your computer, you go to the task manager, Control Alt Delete, right? Go to task manager, go to performance, you look at it, and you'll see that bad boy jumping all over the place. 1 gigahertz, 1.5, 3, 2.8, jumping all over the place. I'm like, what's going on there? And I mean, a computer is different, yes, but if you're running a game, you want consistent power. And another thing I wanted to talk about power in the announcement of all of these new graphics cards. The Nvidia 330 series, I guess they're calling it the 30 series, but the 3090, 3080, 3070, right? The power that is required in these chips is redonkulous, right? And I'm like, hold on, let me see if I can pull up some AMD 3090 RTX 30. Hopefully don't have all three of them. They should. News. Boom. Forbes, The Verge. I'll do. Hold on. Nvidia 3000 series? I thought it was 30 series. Yeah, it is 30 series. I guess we'll just go here. Oh, can't even see me. You can't see me, son. You can't see me. There I am. Yes, slow loading picture. Wow. Look at that. Wow. Get out. All right. So these are the new graphics cards. I've been watching Mads on YouTube, and he's like Slavic or something. And he's like, hello, I'm the welcome to my gaming channel. And I'm like, oh, wow. Okay. I mean, that was a bad impression of him, but it's close. I was thinking about doing that, like, and the bad video games are very nice. Or I don't know. Doing a stupid parody of some of these fools. So, where's the power? Where is the power? They're not going to go into it, are they? No, they're not going to go into this. I guess I got to go specs. Specs. Oh, Bing. Why am I on Bing? Whatever. Specs. PC World? There we go. So, my reason for mentioning this stuff is power, right? There's a reason power. Relative to performance, I don't care about performance per se. I mean, these cards ain't no joke. This is what, if you're gonna get a graphics card, you want the best graphics card, get one of these. I was like, maybe I give me a 3070 is $499. I was like, that's still high, but that's not bad. 24 gigs of RAM, son. That's crazy. 384 bus. That's what the Xbox Series X has. I think it has 384. Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's 384. I think it's 3 something. 320. Oh, is it 320? It might be 3. I don't remember actually. Or is the Xbox? Oh, well, whatever. 256. That's the PS4 right there. I mean, PS5 is a 250. Anyway, that's what I wanted to show. The power. So look at this. Recommended power supply. You got to get a better power. 650. This is for the lowest card, 3070, right? Graphics card power, 220 watts. The previous generation was like 65 watts, and it's lower. Was it 65 watts? Well, it wasn't this high. 320 watts. Look at 350 watts for the 3090, right? So let's look up. So I mean, that's just for the graphics card. That's not even for the rest of the computer. That's just for the graphics card. 350. Now that's like the whole power supply for the whole next Xbox Series X is the whole thing, not just the power supply. So it's like, it's crazy. I mean, Nvidia is like power hungry. They're not too efficient on their stuff, but you throw enough power at something, you can get performance, right? Yes. And there is a balance of power to performance, right? What the deal? What's up, Kaijudo? Hope everything is good with you. I'm just going through the RTX joints, and I wanted to talk about these because of the whole PlayStation 5 and that whole thing that Cerny was talking about, where it was like, oh, we're doing the smart shift and we're doing all the stuff, and and it doesn't need all the power and the shift in power, and I'm like, okay, if you look at Nvidia, their their I guess direction as far as, hey, we need to put out some good stuff, throw some power at it. You know what I'm saying? I mean, you could be efficient. I mean, I think this is what is the actual size of these? They don't say here. Maximum GPU temp is 93. That's Celsius, I believe. It's 93. This one's, they're all 93? Oh yeah. Yeah, they don't say what the I just totally forgot what I was looking for. But anyway, my point is that Nvidia is like, yo, we want performance, throw some power at it, right? Sony is like, we messed up. We got to overclock. Bonds, what's going on? Hope everything's good with you. We gotta make our PS5 specs looks better than they actually are. So let's overclock everything. Overclocking causes issues. You know that. I mean, my computer was about to pass out last week because I was overclocking it too much, and it was like, and actually I added another monitor. That's probably what happened. Why I changed. I added another monitor, but then I adjusted all the resolutions so that it wasn't as intensive, if you will, on my graphics card and stuff, and CPU. But my computer's all I need to re-up a little bit of stuff. But anyway, the point is that Sony's approach is only gonna last them for how long do you think? Because like right now, I'm looking at these graphics cards, and I'm like, I mean, compared to, the consoles coming out are still good. They're still in competition, but not really, because the 3090 is gonna kill everything. 24 gigs of RAM. Come on, son, that's ridiculous. Imagine you got 24 gigs of RAM on your graphics card, and then you got, I don't know, 16 or whatever for your computer CPU. It's ridiculous. I got an 8 gig card and 16 gigs of RAM in my computer, and it's barely struggling. So that's like boom, plus ray tracing, plus all the other stuff that Microsoft said, we're gonna put the whatever it's called for the I forgot what it is, but it's something they're doing in the Xbox Series X in order to have it just work better. My words aren't working today, but just to have everything work more efficiently on the graphics card side, so that it's that, I think it's the machine learning, not DSS, DLSS. That's what Nvidia has, but on the AMD side, I want to see what the AMD cards are going to be. I heard there's going to be 6000 series Radeon, so I don't know. I mean, that's like rumor, but we'll see. But this stuff is like super interesting because it's, why does that take it so long to load, man? Where's my, okay, there we go. Okay, get stupid. So Ampere is the new, okay, this is what I wanted to see, the comparison. So 260 was the Titan the 2080 Ti, and the new 3090 is 350 watts, 185 for the low end for the 70. So you see the increase in wattage, per, incrementally. This is about right. I mean, what is that? 90. This is 195. So 90, 95, I think. And this one is 15 plus 20 is 35. So 35 watts, 95 watts, and then 90 watts. Increase as far as the cars go from last gen to this for the new gen coming up. Now you look at the buses, memory bus. So you got 256, 320 for the 3080, 352, which is weird. I think it's a weird number. I don't know. I never heard of 352 bus, but sure. 384. I've heard of 384. Okay. Boost clock 1.7, 1.5, 1.17, So that's pretty much the same to boost clock. That doesn't matter too much. So the coup de course, if you will, 234, 2304 to 5888. That's more than double on the low end card. So I'm looking at this. I'm like, yo, I should get a 3070 for 499. I don't know. Let's see, the 2080 versus the 2080 is 2944 versus 8704. That's almost triple. And that's not quite triple, but it's like 2.5. Man. And the 4350 for the 2080 and 10496. Jeez, that's more than double. That's redonkulous. Plus the over doubling of the RAM. You know, boom, 10 gigs, 8 gigs. I mean, yeah, I'm looking at that. But I don't want to spend $700 on a graphics card. First of all, we're gonna get the Xbox Series X before I get any of these things. Then I'm gonna get me Ryzen 5 3600. I don't know if I'm gonna get an X or not. Probably a B50 550 board. And some RAM. You know, that's all I'm gonna do for now. Just to get a little better CPU up in there, and some faster RAM, because my RAM is DDR3, so it's garbage. But anyway, you know, that's what I'm looking at. I'm looking at this, and I'm like, okay, it's not bad. Just some stuff here. Power connectors, 6-pin and an 8-pin. Wow, okay. Two 8 pins. Yeah, that's right. Oh, but that's the same thing here. Okay. Look how big this thing. Jesus, 12.3 inches. It's a beast, son. It's a big card. It's a 3 slot too. Yep, that's the first 3 slot. Well, I wouldn't say it's the first 3 slot, but it's a 3 slot. It's crazy. But anyway, I say that. I tell you that to tell you this. The PlayStation is kind of going. We can talk about this in a few. It's kind of going the other way when it comes to the whole power narrative. Okay, so they lost the power narrative. They lost it basically. Xbox Series X, everybody's saying, even the ponies are saying, yeah, Xbox Series X is more powerful. Blah blah blah. Let's call a spade, no cap. Blah blah blah. Right. And so I was like, okay, so the argument now is no games. We got exclusives and all that stuff. I'm like, okay. Meanwhile, they still haven't shown. Remember they was gonna have the breakdown. Remember that now rumors is it's gonna be September 9th in 3 days. They're gonna have the breakdown for the PS5, and then they're gonna have the release date and the price and all that stuff. September 9th. That's what they're talking about. So I'm like, okay. So next week I'm gonna be sitting here, either laughing or like, so they doing it, oh snap, see what Microsoft do, oh snap. But until then, we'll see. But in the meanwhile, someone put this render, let's call it that, because this is not real. They put a render of the PlayStation 5 exploded, and whatever, CCN, whatever. This is wrong because we all know that the heatsink goes above the APU, and they have the CPU pointing at what's going on here. I mean, that's a motherboard. You don't need to have the mother. This is why this is dumb. Okay, you could just. Is that really the SSD? Nobody knows. This is all made up. Hokey pokey. What is this port? That's like a whatchamacallit. Excuse me. My whole thing is, it's not so much the little details of the heatsink. Who cares about that? My thing is looking at this, looking at how it looks, right? Looking at this. And then looking at this, and I'm like, oh, this fan assembly kind of makes sense, right? Now, as far as the split design, like when the pipes are going through the motherboard, and there's like basically 2 heat sinks, I don't know about that because you notice they didn't show the other side, right? But having their 2 fans like this makes sense. So I'm like, that automatically is a problem. Here's why. If you have a computer. You know this to be true. The more fans you have, the louder potentially it will be. It just makes sense, right? The more noise making machines, objects, the more noise, right? So they have 2 fans versus Xbox Series X has 1 fan, 1 singular fan. So only 1 point of moving, except for the hard drive. I mean, not the hard drive, the disk drive. Besides the disk drive and the fan, those are the only 2 things that are moving. Now Sony has an extra fan, comparably speaking. Bond says louder than the PS3 word. I mean, the potential is there, yes, and especially this blower type fan, which was in the PS4 and also in the Series X. But theirs was super special, whatever, blah blah blah, liquid cooling and stuff. And that's another thing. The liquid metal that they said they're putting on this. Okay, I've never heard of people putting liquid metal on their CPUs. I mean, on their CPUs for for the heatsink and stuff. I'm not that deep into the world, but I do know that liquid metal conducts electricity, right? So, yes, it conducts. It dissipates heat better than paste, I would say. Yes, it's metal. But if that liquid metal gets anywhere else, fried. All the little connector, smoky, okie dokie. They make good robots. I know, right? Terminator 2. There's a policeman gonna come out your PlayStation and... Anyway, I'm not even going to go down that road that my brain went. Point is, it feels like the PlayStation 5... I mean, if I were to step back, right? And I look at the Xbox Series X, PlayStation... We're not even talking about Nintendo right now. Xbox Series X, PlayStation 5. I would look at them both and be like, personally, I don't think the PlayStation 5 looks good. I think it looks weird. And blah blah blah. It looks extra. It's like, hey, you're trying too hard, and it's not functional. And I'm looking at both, and I'm like, cooling wise, I'm like, okay, the maybe the X. I mean, the 2 fans might offset, may give it adequate cooling. It better, but like I said, the potential ultimately, fans get dirty. They're gonna start making noise. It's gonna be another jet. It's gonna. I'm a guarantee. And what I send you? I'll send you a Zeist alcohol wipe. Very good for cleaning glass. Zeiss, clean your glass. Get your glass out of here. Look at that glass. And I'm looking at it and I'm like, okay, that's clever. But it's you know what it's like, because I'm looking at the motherboard, and that motherboard looks exactly like the PlayStation 4 motherboard. I ain't gonna lie, it looks just like it. It's a big L. The PlayStation 4 motherboard is the same way. Now I say that, and looking at the design, like, oh, okay, well that space in the back, oh no, my point. This right here, this space right here, would be, I would assume, where the power supply would live, because there ain't no room anywhere else, right? So power supply is there. Everything else, and there's the right there, the disk drive. But this is just a render, so it probably doesn't even look like this inside. But it doesn't seem like Sony. It seems like Sony was caught with the pants down, and they were scrambling to make the best of a situation, which is not what you want to think going into the next gen. Looking at the next generation of PlayStation, you don't want to think, oh, it could have been better, or it's, what? I heard a lot of people being like, oh, it doesn't matter what the console looks like. I don't care. It's going to be in my entertainment center, and I'm not going to look like it. I'm going to look blue, right? And I'm like, okay, true. I mean, I barely look at my Xbox. But they lying. If it looked good, they would have said it looked good. If you're a PlayStation fan, right, and it looks good to you, you be like, yo, that looks dope. I like how it looks. I'm good. I'm happy. I'm going to buy it. But if you're a PlayStation fan and you say, oh, it don't matter what it look like, that means you don't like what it look like. That's what that means. That means, oh, she got a good personality. That's what that means. You know what I'm saying? So don't try to, oh, it doesn't matter what it looks like. Yes, it does matter. When you go to buy a car, you go spend your hard-earned money, you're going to be like, want it to look good? You're not be like, oh, unless you're trying to win the Cannonball Run or something, then you be like, I don't care what it look like as long as I get to California first, or whichever way you're going. But people are like, yo, and it's a double whammy, right? So you got performance is not as good as is not the best, right? So you got PlayStation 5 performance not the best, looks it's mixed. It's like okay, they're kind of losing a little bit. And I'm not saying that they're done, forget about it. I'm just saying they're losing a little bit on each little kind of. It's like a tick here and a tick here, like nitpicking, right? But those little ticks matter. And then some people, I mean, the best part of the PlayStation 5, as I see it right now, is the controller. And even then, it's like, the sticks are still together, kissing each other. I don't like that. No. The best thing I've seen about the controller is the night mode. Like, it's dark and then the buttons light up. I'm like, okay. Then I think, that's going to drain battery. Why would you have lights in the buttons? And all them lights, lights drain electricity, right, Sony? I'm just saying, y'all want the battery to last longer. But you putting all these goofy ass Christmas lights in your damn controller. I'm like, can I get a controller without lights so I could play longer? Because honestly, when you're playing a game and the room is dark, you're not going to be looking at your controller regardless because you know where the buttons are. So I don't know who this is for. This is just for, look at flashy. It's like, yeah, I got a DeLorean. It looks good, don't it? Yeah, but it runs like shit. Or shite. Sorry for cursing. But so it's their install base from the PlayStation 4, which is, you know how that goes, and their exclusives. I mean, those are the two things that they have not messed up yet. So it's like, hey, Arioka, how you doing? It's been a minute. Thank you for showing up. Preach, let me read your thing. Hi there. How about the fact that we're in September and we still don't know the prices for next gen consoles? Exactly. That's a whole nother thing. Let's get into it. I sound like a YouTuber right now. Let's get into the video. I'm sorry, I have to do it. Anyway, so supposedly September 9th, 3 days from now, they're gonna talk about price and all that good stuff, right? So I'm like, okay, we'll see. I doubt it, but we'll see. They have been playing chicken with Microsoft, right? The thing is, I think Microsoft knows better, right? And I would say Microsoft is willing to wait until the very last minute, because if you look at the history, I mean, it's really just about 2013 when all that stuff went down, and it was like, yo, they went first, Microsoft went first, and then Sony counterpunch, boom, blocked it and said, bad, blah, knocked them out. Besides them kind of, shaking and moving and being very strategic as far as reacting to what Microsoft did, Microsoft realized that, we can't, it's almost like giving them their playbook. It's like if you got two football teams playing, you can be like, yo, other coach, check out, these are the plays that we're going to play against you, all right? In this order, exactly like this. So, okay, you can have a copy of that, and then we're going to go over here, and we're going to play the football game, okay? All right, break. Well, I don't know what the coaches wouldn't break, but I'm just saying, they'd be like, okay, coach over on the other side, yeah, I hear it. Okay, we're going to play Skunk Box 0Z. And he's like, okay, we got that. All right, y'all, they're going to run it to the side, and you just trip them and then push them on the side with it and mush them in the head, like mush. Like memory kids, mush them like that. Okay, break. And then they go. And then they stop them because they know the play, right? So now, I think Microsoft, I'm not going to say Phil, because Phil is still part of the old guard. And I'm not saying get rid of Phil. Phil needs to be fired, because that's not what I'm saying. Because Phil actually turned the boat around. But what I'm saying is Phil is still... It took a young, like, not intern, but a younger person in one of those meetings to say, yo, let's just announce the Xbox Series X at the Game Awards, son. Surprise! And it worked like crazy. That wasn't Phil's idea. That wasn't one of the old guys' idea. Nah. That was a young, I believe it was a female. Boom. I hope she got a raise. Arico says, I remember pre-ordering the PS4 on Amazon around June or July on 2013 or something, I think. Yeah, I mean, they pulled them out in it was February when they didn't show the actual console, but they did the first thing on the PlayStation 4, and then in June they did the actual reveal of the actual console. They still haven't done that, September, like you said. Also, I am not doing it for either this gen because I don't care for any of the launch titles, and they'll probably release updates in no time. Yeah, especially the PlayStation 5, and that's the thing, right? So here's another thing. So Sony announced a couple weeks ago, they were like, oh yeah, we just doubled the orders of PlayStation 5 for, I guess, the first quarter. So from 5 to from now to 10 million or whatever, 10 to 12 million. And I'm like, okay, that doesn't sound right. It's either that's real or they're lying, basically, because they're gonna lose money on these consoles, right? So it would behoove them to not sell that many, because the more they sell, the more they lose. Sure, you get the market share, you make it up on the end, with games and all that stuff and subs, but the original Xbox lost like $4 billion. They didn't make any money on that hardware. So at this point, in what is this, the 5th generation of PlayStation, they shouldn't be losing money like that. Nintendo flipped the script and they said, yeah, we're not going to lose money no more. Let's just make it underpowered and let's make it and do it that way. So they don't lose money, Nintendo. But Sony, they initially lost money on PlayStation 4, a little bit of money, barely. And they recouped it, I guess after the first quarter. So I guess the first quarter of launch, they're prepared. Both companies, I would say, were prepared to lose a significant amount in order to gain the unit sales and market share. But once again, Microsoft's not focusing on units sold. And the thing is, the Sony uppers, the boss mans of Sony, they said, yeah, we're not, it's more about services. We're not really concerned about, we're not going to focus on units. And I'm like, what? So all these fanboys talking about, yo, look how many we sold. That's not going to matter anymore, is it? I mean, if you look at the business, you look at it, you follow the yellow brick, you follow the yellow brick road. I said this before, Netflix is killing it, right? World of Warcraft before them, killing it. It's all about the subs. And Microsoft, remember who said it? It was Peter Moore. And he said the first to 10 million wins. And he was talking about the console generations. But if you want to, take that into any type of thing or any segment of the console generation, Game Pass is already past 10 million. And it launched after PS Now. So if you want to look at it that way, I mean, in a way, Xbox kind of already won in that respect. Is it possible for Sony to catch up from 10? They're probably close to 11 million right now. Who knows? Arioka says, do you think the new consoles will actually come out this year? Also, the new PC cards will make next-gen consoles more behind than before. The RX 3080 is a huge update for PCs. I mean, the 3090 is the one. That's crazy. I mean, 1500 though. I ain't paying that much. The consoles will come out this year with limited quantity, which is fine. I mean, that's to be expected. And like you, I'm not getting Xbox Series X right away. It'll definitely be into next year. When, I'm not too sure, but I'm good for now. Honestly, I'm waiting for I think I'm probably waiting for Halo. I might wait for Halo to pick up a XSX. Even a 3070 is great for the price. I mean, honestly, it is. If I were to go NVIDIA, I would definitely get the 3070, $499. I'm like, all right, that's not bad, But honestly, I'm gonna get an Xbox before I get a 3070. If I were to get a 3070, but also, I'm waiting to see what AMD does with the Radeon stuff. I heard Radeon 6000 or whatever. I'm waiting for those because usually price wise, I mean, these prices are good. They did the thug dizzle NVIDIA this time because they realized that they can't charge them premium prices, like Intel does versus AMD. They can't do that anymore. So, I'm like, okay, AMD, they always want to undercut NVIDIA as far as price goes, and they do. And even though they may not perform as super dope well, they perform close enough that the price difference is like, okay, yeah, I'm gonna get that instead because it's close enough. You know, I always said the PlayStation 4 Pro is close enough to 4K, good enough. I usually say it's good enough console. You know, and they fake the funk on a lot of stuff. Even the HDR is like faked. I was like, it's not even actual real like super dope HDR. It's like some kind of workaround thing. And that's what they're doing with ray tracing this time too. And the thing is, people are gonna fall for it. Like, oh yeah, look at all that ray tracing. I'm like, it's like most of the time it's gonna be hardware. It's gonna be hybrid ray tracing, and most of the time it's gonna be software because they don't have the cores to push it hardware wise. So it's like, what is the Series X supposed to be like? Close to a 2080 Ti? I think it's supposed to be closer to a 2080 Super, but they won't be able to tell until they're gonna do tests on it with the velocity architecture, shader, vector shaders, and all that stuff. Vector shaders, was that called, or was it the? I think that's what it's called. But yeah, there's a lot of compression and decompression technology in the Series X that actually Microsoft is implementing, and I believe it is DirectX 12.2 that they'll be able to do on PC as well. So I guess not all games, but certain games can compress and decompress these textures so that and machine learning and all those things that will give you the appearance like kind of like what the PlayStation 4 did this gen, where the checkerboard rendering, except is way better than checkerboard rendering because you don't see those sawtooth artifacts. It's just like, oh, it's like I was looking at both. I keep saying this. I was looking at the native 4K image, and I was looking at the 1080p upscale, machine learning upscale to 4K, and I was like, I mean, if you look hard enough, long enough, and this is just a still image, it's not even a moving picture, you can find, there's a little bit right there, but it's so hard to see. So it's like, I think that's gonna be one of the little puzzle pieces that will give this gen, not just consoles, but PCs as well. Games are gonna be crazy. This is why this is exciting. Not because it's Xbox and PlayStation. No. It's the technology that they're, the next step as far as graphics, yes, but it's also these other smart technologies that are making the workload easier for that. The more powerful consoles already will even have less to do, so it'll be like a more of a jump because it's like, it's really 1080p. So imagine 1080p. That's why you're gonna get 120 frames. You know what I'm saying? Because you have a decompression block, you have machine learning and all this stuff that isn't affected by the GPU. They have separate hardware for that, so they're not taking cycles away from the APU when they do that stuff. So it's really dope. Ariuka says, I'm leaning towards Series X because I really like playing my older Xbox 360 and Xbox One games upscale with better frame rate. That is true. Some of popping out old. I played Too Human yesterday. I played it before, but I was like, plus Game Pass. I was like, let me check out Too Human, because guess what? Too Human's on Game Pass. So now this is not a commercial or ad for Too Human because that's not the best game, but that game. Okay, it's not a good game. That game was trying to be something, and I was looking at it, I was like, are they trying to be like Halo but in Norse mythology? And I was looking at this, I'm like, I think they're trying to be Halo in Norse. I didn't really think about it that way, and the controls are so bad. It really is. The control scheme sucks. I mean, the animations, it's a lot of bad things about. I'm like, this game is so dumb. Why is it yes, I played it. I mean it's an old game, but the way that the Xbox One X upscales those 360 games, I'm like, that's not bad. Not bad. Kajita says, more seemingly powerful games, graphics, and server AI, but you'll be buying less of a game. Have fun trying to run those games offline. Most games are tied to a server in some way, some respect. I mean, if you look at the most popular games, yes. Fortnite, Dota, League of Legends, they're all online games. And even PlayStation games, Same. It's. I mean, it's this gen. It happened, and Microsoft predicted it, but nobody wanted it, right? So the backlash was on them. Sony didn't say nothing, because that was Sony's plan too. But they didn't say nothing. It's like, oh yeah, you could do it this way. You could share games like this. You still gotta check in on the server. So it's like, yeah, try to play a PlayStation unplugged without internet. See how that works out for you. You'd be like, I can play some games, and you can play some games on the Xbox too. But it's like, it's not as good. It's just not as good. But yeah, less games every generation. Yes and no. I mean, if you have a if your issue really is not being able to play online, I mean offline. I mean, I see where you're at. Like I'm playing like I said, Grounded, and it does ping the server as far as like when it saves, it auto saves, and because it saves it to the cloud, which is kind of dope because no matter what Xbox I'm on, I'll still it grabs my save from the cloud. So I'm like, all right, cool. You know, you don't have to like do like PlayStation 4. You have to take the save and then transfer it, and I'm like, no. It's like, why is this so dumb? Why is the PlayStation 4 so dumb? Why you love this console so much and you gotta go through all this bullshit? If you got more than two PlayStation, if you got more than one PlayStation, you're gonna have problems going back and forth. Rico says, yeah, even Marvel Avengers are server dependent, like Tom Clancy Division. Well, those are all multiplayer online games, yeah. Destiny. I mean, there are rare, like I guess Ori might be not online, something like that. But like I said, the saves are cloud saves. So, but if you can get past that, you know, and my internet sucks. I'm surprised I can stream because I'm so mad. It just sucks. We have AT&T. Our internet sucks. AT&T. I'm just saying. I mean, you know what? We can't get faster. The way that they laid the lines in our neighborhood, they're too close to the power line. So every time there's a surge on the power, it knocks out the internet. That's how stupid our internet is. Watch it get knocked out because I'm talking shit. They be like, oh, they hurt you. Whatever. But honestly, you know, as far as games go, I'm excited because there are some games I'm like, okay, like, I mean, I'm even looking at like Flight Simulator, right? I'm not a Flight Simulator dude. I'm not like the dude. I'm not gonna buy some crazy setups and, you know, build a whole cockpit and all this. I've seen this one dude has 3 screens. He's got freaking iPads on it. He created a whole dashboard and everything. And I'm like, yo. And it's like, it's legit. I was like, yo, it's crazy. And he's usually playing X-Plane, but he tried out Flight Simulator. He's like, oh, this ain't bad. Bond says mod game checklist. Offline capable 2-player cloud save. Yeah, offline capable, I mean, that's gonna be the one. That's gonna be the tricky one. Hold on a second. Gotta scale up a little bit. Arioka says, I don't think any of the Sony PS4 single-player games like Spider-Man, God of War are connected to servers, so they'll work in the future if they shut down. Possible. Who knows? I mean, like I said, there might be a server ping just to be like, oh, he's playing this and that, you know, for telemetry or, you know, just for I was gonna say copyright, but piracy reasons. Kaju says, I might get a PS5 in 2 years, but I'm going more VR direction these days. I'll buy PC games, but consoles are taking the wrong path. They try to cut corners and run games behind a server. Bad business. Bond says they will miss me with no offline play. Yeah. I mean, it depends on the games. Like you said, I agree. I think they need to keep that option as far as online, offline. In certain games, of course, if it's a multiplayer game, of course it's gonna be online. But if it's a single player, like you said, God of War, Spider-Man, all these games that are single player, self-contained, you know, why is it pinging a server? Why does it have a server? You know, it doesn't make sense. And that's the thing. I mean, I don't have a PS4, so I couldn't test that. But Somebody needs to test that to see if they actually are like unplug your PS4 and turn off your router, which is scary, I know, right? And try to play that stuff and see what happens. Bond says, I'm okay trimming the titles and games if I play if they want to tie them all behind servers. Yeah, I mean, I it depends on the game. Like I said, no reason for single player games, single player third person. The games that Sony are freaking known for, like Last of Us 2, single player only game. You know, there's no multiplayer component on that. That should be offline. It shouldn't even I mean, it will, but it shouldn't ping to a server or a Last of Us server, basically. I mean, it'll ping to like a Sony server, like I said, for trophies or whatever. Well, even that should be local, right? You shouldn't need. I mean, I think that's how the PlayStation works. It's like it does it locally and then it pings whenever. But it's still. That was the whole thing when this generation started. It was like, the thing is always on, right? But then the PlayStation was like, oh, it pings every. No, it was the Xbox. It pings every 24 hours. If you're not online, then you can't play or something. It's like, oh. Let's see here. Arioka says, no need to unplug the router. Just unplug the Ethernet cable from your console or disconnect the Wi-Fi. Yeah, that's what I meant. For Wi-Fi, not the Ethernet. I need to just plug out the cable. You can turn off your router if you want to. It's okay. Bond says, I get anti-cheat checking. I get the need to check for update. I need to check for new contents. Yeah. I mean, that's the only reason, right? But as far as it being like one of those, oh, you can't play it unless you're connected. Yeah, that's BS. And some games are like that. When they don't need to be, and that's for the whole piracy, copy protection type of thing. That's their way of copy protecting their games. So that is like, oh, but which I don't see how that makes sense, right? If you have I don't know, whatever. There's, however, the option for me to be okay. I guess the game is not for me. I mean, like Cyberpunk, I'm playing. I don't care if it's on a server, connected online. I don't care. I'm playing that game. You know. And if it's hot garbage because it's always online, then that's gonna affect how much I play it, you know. And that maybe the last time I play one of their games, you know, who knows? Kaiju says, I think Nintendo is smart. Their games are closer to how games would be now if Sony and Microsoft didn't cut corners. No, Nintendo's not smart. Nintendo's trying to be Disney. If you haven't noticed, this whole controversy with the 3DS, what is it, Mario 35 or whatever. It was Mario 64, Mario Sunshine, and Mario Galaxy. I think it's the 3 games, and it's only digital, and they're offering them until like March or something. And I'm like, and then they go away, and I'm like, why? Why would you take away games? It's digital. This ain't the Disney Vault. They're trying to make it the Disney Vault. You see what they're doing? So Nintendo's on their own island, and it's not a good thing that they're on their own island. They're on their own island doing their own messed up stuff. You know what I'm saying? The fact that they're not like on the online multiplayer stuff as hard as Microsoft and Sony is a detriment to them because it affects their games and their players, and it's kind of like they're still kind of trapped in the past a little bit. I mean, yeah, some of their games are multiplayer, but it's limited. You know, you can see, you can tell by just their service and the quality of their online stuff, and the fact that honestly, Nintendo's a toy company. Kaiju says, I'm talking smart as in not going so far as the edge of what games can do today. Well, that's how you push it further. I mean, you try to get to the edge, but if you do it too soon, like Crackdown 3, right? They're like, oh, it's gonna be cloud this and they're like, no, we can't do that yet. And they tried, but yeah, it didn't work. But the idea, the seed, the germ of an idea is there. So it's like, oh, okay. And now Flight Simulator is actually doing it. Nintendo games and hardware work 99% of the time. The problem with Nintendo is that you buy a game, it's locked to that hardware. You know what I'm saying? It's like, oh yeah, I'm gonna play Animal Crossing, and like if you get another Switch, what are you supposed to do? You gotta call Nintendo like, I got another Switch. Can I transfer my old Switch data to the new Switch data? Or it's a hassle. I'm like, what do you, huh? It's like all this stuff is connected to the hardware. That's how you do copy protection? Because they're not connected online. They don't have that infrastructure like Microsoft does, and now Sony because they're using Microsoft's. So, yeah, I mean, it's both. It's like, okay, Nintendo's doing it this way because they don't have the means to do it the other way. You know, the more convenient way. If I had 3 Switches for 3 days of different colors, because today's a blue day, boop, pick it up. And then I turn it on, and then just pulls down my saves from the cloud and all that good stuff, and everything's all connected. That'd be great. That's not how it works. That's not how it works, though. So it's like, pfft. And they force you to buy multiple Switches. Like, oh, more people in my family want to play Animal Crossing, so I guess I gotta buy another Switch so that I can be the mayor. I'm like, what? Huh? You can't switch? Nope. Huh? Man, forget that. Crackdown, that franchise, yeah. Crackdown was never that good. It was just a goofy arcade type of game. Kaju says, you don't call anyone. Just transfer on 3DS also cards. The fact that you have to, like, physically or whatever, transfer stuff over. I mean, come on, son. That's still living in the past. Like I said, I got an Xbox One OG, my first Xbox right here, Xbox One. I got the One X in the crib. I can play all the games. If they're downloaded on this console, I can play them. Same save, transfer nothing. Just go blip bloop start. Let me get that save from the cloud for you. Zoop zoop, good, let's go. That's it. I don't have to be like, wait, I want to play on a new 3DS. Oh, wait, we got to transfer. Then you get a cable, click it here, click. Beep, boop, 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 boop. Man, get out here, man. And they so much in the past that they still making toys. You see that new toy they got out? Now, I say toy as more of a derogatory term, but it's literally a toy. It's a little remote control car with a camera on it. And I'm looking at it, and if I was a kid, I'd be like, oh, that's kind of cool. And then I realized it's hot garbage. Why? I'm not hating Nintendo. I'm saying it's hot garbage because I was looking at the performance of those cars. I'm like, okay, it's kind of cute. But $150 for that? For one? Come on, son. Crazy. Like I said, it's novel, it's cute, but it ain't $150 cute. They out their damn mind. You know what I would have done? I'd be like, you make the little car and you put your phone on it and you do it that way. Because I'm sorry, everybody got a smartphone. You put a little car and you put a little smartphone holder on it and you click it in and then it connects to your Switch and you do it that way. Every phone has a camera. Do it like that instead of whatever the camera costs to put in that stupid ass car. Arioka says Nintendo's doing scare tactics of fake limited supply and demand for Super Mario 3D Collection is ridiculous. I don't support that. That's what Sony's doing with the PlayStation 5 as well, with that pre-order raffle thing, whatever they're doing. It's the same thing. Sony is like, Sony's trying to take the best of like what Nintendo does that works for them and what Apple does, and they're trying to play all those angles. And I'm like, instead of doing what has been done before, why don't you find a new lane and accelerate in there? And that's what Microsoft's doing. They're like, yo, and Microsoft isn't actually finding a new lane. They are as far as the video game console space goes, as far as services go. But like I said before, World of Warcraft did it before as far as games go. So Microsoft is like, oh, let's do it this way. Nintendo don't even bother making these old games to run at 60 frames a second, and they're selling them at $60 instead of $20 for the Super Mario 25th collection for the Wii. Yeah. Bond says Nintendo and EA rolling in all that cash. Microtransactions is where the dollars is. Microsoft is making bank with subs. Sony's with the pitch. We're exclusive. We are exclusive. So, yeah, that's the problem. I guarantee you. And I heard that there was rumors that Sony's gonna put more of an emphasis on PS Now. They're slow. Sony's a little slow on the uptake. They're just now realizing, oh, if we offer our exclusives on PC, they will sell more units. Really? Is that how capitalism works? If you actually put your stuff out there for people to buy, they might buy it. It only took them 7 years. It's I don't understand. I mean, the higher ups at Sony is like, yo, we gotta make this paper, put it on PC. What's the wrong? Then the other guy, oh well, they'll be mad, and we don't want to be the bad guy. And so they're doing this kind of balancing act, trying to be the cool. Hey, we're Sony, we're cool, we're not gonna be dumb and stuff. And then they're doing all the stuff that their fans don't want. The hardcore fans, oh PC, and then they're crying because the game's on PC, and I'm like, I'm laughing my ass off. I'm like, boy. Let's see. Bond says, I worked in sales for the past 9 years. I make pitches to people for a living. Oh, nice. Yeah. So, do you think that pitch makes sense given the environment and what Microsoft and I guess Nintendo are doing as their competition? That's my question to you, Bonds. Arioka says, meant the Wii collection with the 2D Mario games was available for $20. They released the new one for $60 because they know the blind sheep will. Yeah. Well, they also they upped their prices for I think it was just for the Switch, right? So all the games were $60. So that was a Switch generation type of thing where all the game prices went up. So, and talking about game prices, the CD Projekt Red said they're not gonna do a $60 or $70 next gen version. It's just it's gonna be $59.99 because it's just gen. So I'm like, yeah, boy. And that's the thing. It's like you got companies like CD Projekt Red where they make a product, and like it or not, I mean it's a pretty good product, and they give you your money's worth. I was happy to spend $60 on The Witcher 3. I opened that box, all the stuff started pouring out. I'm like, damn, there's a lot of stuff. I was like, damn, I didn't play the game yet. I was like, this is worth the money. All the stuff in here is worth the money. I need to pull it out. I need to pull the map. I want to put the map on the wall. I want to frame it. It's so much good. It's good. Bond says, LOL, yes, they are not evil as what they're doing. They're not. I get it, they're not as evil as what they're doing. I will call them how much. I will call them on how much they are pushing it. Oh, okay. Yeah. Okay. I mean, it's not an evil. That part of it, like the exclusive thing, is not evil. It's just I think my problem with them and how they approach this generation, as far as doling out information in their presentations, especially Cerny, is that they are disingenuous. They are disingenuous a lot of the time. I'm not allowed, in instances, at certain instances, they are disingenuous, and I'm like, y'all know it's like I'm watching Trump and he's lying to your face, and it's just like, okay, that's a lie, but you get numb to it a little bit. So honestly, I'm kind of numb to Sony's games, for lack of a better term. Not the actual games that you play, but the games that they play in this war of consoles and this war of, who's the better box and all that stuff. Bot says they offer shells of a product and then charge you to build a complete product. Arioka says, I have more of an issue with customers. If people want Madden to get better, they have to stop buying it. Agreed. Every year they buy them no matter what and get less game modes and more microtransactions. You know what the problem with that is also? is there is no alternative for players to buy, for customers to buy. So if like that would have been a bombshell if Microsoft would have came out and said, "Yo, we got our own Madden, we got our own NFL game, all the players, we spared no expense, Jurassic Park up in here, you know what I'm saying? Boom, and it's better than Madden. Come on, son. If they put out a game and it was like, you know, I would say they take a page from 2K and make it. I was gonna say $20, but no. But you know what I'm saying? If there was competition for Madden, then Madden would be better. But there is no competition, and that's the same thing like with Sony. They feel like there's no competition in a way because they're so far in the lead, quote unquote, as far as market share. But that's PS4 market share, and the way that they're going, it's almost like they don't think. It's like, yeah, I mean, you know, PlayStation 5 would be backwards compatible, but if you look at the messaging has been all over the place. Remember last gen when the Xbox messaging was all over the place? Didn't help them. Right now, it's not helping Sony. First, they say, oh, we're all about generations, right? Then they're like, oh, you know, it'll be backwards compatible. 100 or so of the best games or something like that. Bond says I agree with Arioka's comment. No, yes, I do too. But like I was saying, it is really about competition. If the customers of Madden, let's just say Madden, as an example, had choice. They had choice in 2005 when 2K05 came out. 2K5 came out, right? And it came out for $20 versus Madden. Everybody bought both. Everybody who bought Madden bought 2K5. And it was a better game. I mean, I think I did play it actually. On the wait, did I play that? I don't remember. But that's what needs to happen. There needs to be another product for people to have the option to buy, so that Madden and EA can be like, oh shoot, now we got to work. Honestly, this is what they should do. And I don't understand why they haven't done this. Madden should be just Madden, right? I mean, they do it with all these other Fortnite, Destiny, all these games have season passes, right? Or they have battle passes, right? Madden should have a season pass, should come out every year, roster update, little improvements. And you pay, I don't know, $20, $30, whatever. That way, they don't have to build a whole new game. They just have to tweak it here and there, so the cost is lower. I mean, presumably lower. I mean, honestly, they could be doing that right now and charging everybody $60, which is what it feels like. And that for me, I'm like, yo, that's messed up. That's why I never really got into Madden or FIFA or any of them, because I'm like, it's the same. I don't see any difference in all of these games. And they just play it for the roster update. And this year's all screwed up because of the world apocalypse and all that stuff. So when it comes down to it, it really is competition. The fact that the NFL signed this exclusive contract with EA is messed up. It's a monopoly. I mean, it's not, because the console manufacturers are able to make an NFL game. So that's where I'm saying, yo, Microsoft or Sony, make an NFL game to compete with EA. But I know that they don't really want to do that because they have other kind of, not negotiations, but relationships with EA when it comes to their other games. It's not just the sports games. They have other games too, the Star Wars stuff. What else? Dragon Age, BioWare, all those other things. So it's a tricky situation. So if Microsoft did it, right? They say, oh, we're going to make an NFL game. Blitz 2021. Boom, right? And it's an actual, it's not like an arcade game. It's an actual, for real, simulator or, whatever. Simulation football game. EA would be mad as hell because now Microsoft is their competition. Now they're the enemy instead. And so how are the deals and relationships of their other properties going to be affected on their platform? And I think that's one of the reasons why they haven't done it. And one of the reasons why Sony has the MLB license is because nobody else is doing it. EA is not doing it. If EA was doing it, then Sony is like, oh, should we do it? You know what I mean? It's just it's frustrating to think about. Even though I don't play those games, it's frustrating for me because, and I everybody knows, and I've heard it time and time again. Competition is good for the industry as a whole, any industry really, because it makes both parties try harder, do better. When you have no competition, you start to coast. You start to be lazy. You know, oh, that's good enough. You know, and it feels like going into this next generation, Sony got caught coasting, and now it's too late. So this is what's gonna happen, right? PlayStation 5 is gonna come out. It's underpowered, hot garbage. Then I will say 3 years later, 3 years into this generation, so 2023, let's just say, PlayStation 4 Pro is coming out. I mean, PlayStation 5 Pro is coming out. I'm going to say that they're going to try to put the PlayStation 5 Pro out maybe in 2022. Fall. Wait, it was 2003 and it was 2016 that the PlayStation 4 Pro came out, right? So that was 3 years. So I would say 3 years just to be safe, because it takes time to, build it all up. But earliest 2 years, probably 3 years. PlayStation 5 Pro. And they're going to try to reclaim the most powerful console, mantle, and fix all of the problems that happen with the PlayStation 5. Meaning they're not going to have to, they're going to make it so that they won't have to overclock and do that smart shift stuff. The problem is, if they change too much, then it makes it harder, more difficult for developers to do a game across both systems because they're different. It's just like making a game for the Xbox One S and the One X. They're similar, they're close, but there are little differences in there that make it just a little bit harder to make a game for both. It's not just an easy, plug and play type of thing, because they have different. I mean, the RAM, the SDS RAM is the stupidest. I mean, in hindsight, it's the stupidest idea, but what they were dealing with, they were like, oh, we got to make something fast, so it'll be faster or as fast, or try to be. It's the same thing that Sony is doing with the PlayStation 5 is what Xbox did with the Xbox One, the ESRAM and all that stuff, to try to gain a couple of megahertz to be faster than what they were, perception wise. It's a role reversal. Remember when PlayStation 4 and Xbox One, that was a role reversal of the PS3 and 360, and now we're having another role reversal back the other way. And I'm looking at the whole. I'm like, are you serious? This is what. And they're they're both billion-dollar companies, but it seems like Microsoft on their side, they're looking at each issue that the public had, right, with what the Xbox One was, the ecosystem, all these things, and they fixed most of them except for Halo. That's not fixed yet, but I'm just saying, like the UI, the GUI, the guide, the whole UI of the dashboard, way a better. Yo, the store is even nice. I go to the store now, right, and it's like, oh, let me go look at some stuff, see what games they got in the store, right? And I'm like, yo, this is way better. It's way faster, and then you click, you don't even click on something. You just hover over a game, and the video starts playing. When you go on, I'm like, oh, no. It's pretty dope. I was like, you know what? It's pretty dope. And it's the same on both, because I did it on this one too, this OG Xbox. It performs the same. And I'm like, wow. They did some magic, and they made it happen. And this is with a lot of iterations. And I'm glad they kept doing it, because they're getting it right. They're getting it right. And I'm glad that they're starting, like the stores, now it's pretty good. The UI, the dashboard is fast and snappy. Pretty good. I'm happy with it. And people are like, oh, it's the same dashboard. It's like, but it's better. It's way better than what it was. And if it ain't broke, don't fix it. I mean, it's not super dope, fly, but it's way better than it was before. And it's good enough to be like, yo, next gen, let's go. It's good enough to push me through to the next gen. Bond says, Arioka says, PS5 Pro and Series X 8K in 2022. You know what, the new the PS5 Pro and the Series XX, I think they're gonna have whatever the next gen past what the Ryzen 2, so it'll be Ryzen 3 basically. So it would be equivalent of the RTX 3000 series stuff. So that'll be interesting. So I think in that respect it'll be like 3 years. I don't think it'll be 2. I think it'll be 3 because they're coming out right now. So I give it to 3 years, and then yeah. I mean 2 sounds about right, but I think 3 is better. Bond says, okay, switched to the laptop. Typing on my phone was a hassle. How do people spend hours posting long messages? Yeah, they're used this the thumb dexterity. I always get typos on my stuff. That's fine. Preach. But I'm excited because I think Nvidia with their announcement with their new stuff, their new cards, that kind of it put in perspective the changing kind of landscape of like technology, computers, consoles, graphics cards, and all those things, SSDs. All these things are converging into what we will get, and what there will be is just, yo, these games are gonna get so much better. And like Ajito said, you know, the back end with the online connected, tethered, and all that stuff. Sure, they can mess that stuff up, or they can make that better, but that's not going to affect the actual jump in quality and immersiveness, I would say, in these games that we will be getting, you know. And a lot of it, if you look at the PS4 generation, a lot of it is smoke and mirrors, although it looks pretty. If you understand how games are built, or even just CG, you'll see where the seams are, even though there are no seams that you can actually see, but you can say, oh, I see what they did there. Oh, okay, I see how that works. Oh, if you pay attention, you can see the seams. But the new technology coming out are making those seams even harder to see. And it's exciting because I'm like, oh, okay. I mean, yes, it's going to look better, and they will play better, and they'll perform better. And the latency will be better, at least on the Xbox side. PlayStation has said nothing about latency. The only thing they said is they have the Wi-Fi 6 in their PlayStation 5. So I'm like, okay, sure. How's the controller latency? I don't want to talk about that. I mean, those lights though, the lights on the buttons, are the lights on the buttons going to actually add to latency? I would say yes. But it's exciting because we're kind of we're journeying into new territory. I don't want to say unknown, but it is new. I mean, it's a little unknown, but it's new. It's like a new way of, developers are going to have to kind of evolve into different ways of making games. You know, you don't have to, make a loading screen in it. You don't have to put an elevator in there unless you really want an elevator for the story, but you don't need an elevator. I commit. Arioka says, I think I heard no analog audio for PS5 also. Yeah, I think that's gonna go away. I don't think that's something that either are going to do. Bond says, I commit so much typos with using the phone's keyboard. Another thing about the audio that nobody's talking about. So they had their hot chips, hot bits, whatever it's called. The Xbox Series X had their super tech breakdown, and they went into the audio stuff. And there was a lot of information there, and a lot of it I didn't understand. But what I did take away from it is that they said that the Xbox Series X's audio and how they're handling audio is actually better than what the PlayStation 5's audio, based on what Sony had put out. I was like, oh. So it's not even like, it's more powerful, more CUs, all this stuff, more, right? More T-flops, and the audio's better. Like, holy. It's like they ticked every box and said, nope, we're going to be, nope. Only thing they did was the SSD. And I think they did that on purpose. I think they did that on purpose because if you think about it, if they did, if they did what Sony did and did this crazy proprietary super fast SSD, which is fine in concept, but price wise, that SSD is probably, honestly, it might be, I was going to say the most expensive part of that system next to the APU. I don't know. You still have Cortana on your, man, you got to turn her off, man. Cortana. And I'm like, okay, so they have the SSD, and another thing about the SSD on the PlayStation 5, Cerny said this. I think he said this recently. He said, don't go out and buy these new SSDs just yet. There was a new one that was, I think Samsung was coming out, one with 7 gigabytes per second, blah, 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 blah. And Cerny was like, don't go out, buy it yet. I'm like, yo, it's September, son. Are you serious right now? When it's no, are there gonna, okay, here's my question. Is there gonna be actual storage solution for the PlayStation 5 when it comes out? Because as it sits right now, according to Cerny, no. Because he's like, nah, don't buy it yet. I'm like, well, what are you? I need to buy this now because I need to save money. You know what I mean? So I'm like, if I was gonna be in a market for a PlayStation 5, that's the one question I would have, because you only have 825 gigs. That's before OS, right? So you minus OS and whatever else they cache and blah, 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 right? So I think it's 125 gigs because I believe they're going to use the hard drive as like a caching system, how Microsoft is going to do it as well. I think it's called Direct Storage API or something. That's what Microsoft is doing, the Direct Storage API for DirectX 12.2 for PC, so that you can use the SSD, NVMe SSD, as a kind of a RAM buffer, basically. And if Sony does the same thing, calling it whatever they want to call it, Zucchini engine or frickin', I don't know, frickin' Hammerhead engine, some mystical sea creature. Okay, Hammerhead is not a mystical sea creature, but you know what I'm saying. If they do the same thing, that's 100 gigabytes just for that, plus, I don't know, 25 for the OS. So you have how much? 125, 100. So you have 700 gigs. 700 gigs. Now, I've heard rumors that there's going to be more, so it'll be 600 and something, 650 or something like that. 650 gigs out the box with no games installed. How many games is that? 6 games? Something like that? No, it's 6 games. 6 big games. 6 Call of Duties. Not even 6, 5 Call of Duties, maybe, if you're lucky. I mean, Flight Simulator is 130 gigs. So if you want a big, beefy game with super dope graphics and all that stuff, it's over 100. You know what I mean? So that's the first thing that all these people who are slobbering all over Sony's knob, you should be asking yourself, how am I going to do these with these games? I guess I'm going to play 1 game, 2 games, 3 games at a time. You're going to have 3 games on your system. And you'd be like, yo, this moves so fast. Look how fast. Yeah, because you only got 3 games on your damn hard drive because you ain't got no damn room because you can't buy another hard drive. But then they'd be like, oh, but I could get my old hard drive and put it on there and play on my PlayStation 4 game. Man, that's not what we're talking about. You can't play your PlayStation 5 games off that hard drive. Now, I don't know if you can put them on that old-ass hard drive and then pull it back, but that's a whole nother problem. It's like, wait, I want to play my other game I haven't played in a while. I got to transfer, beep, boop, boop. I'm like, oh. So that's going to take time because that old hard drive ain't as fast as the SSD, boy. Unless you get an external SSD, still not as fast. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, it's lose-lose. Like, it's like, I'm like, yo. Bond says, look at the OS space. Use as a marker to see if I want to buy any product that have a hard drive or storage. Yeah, I guess. Billy, okay, what's going on, Billy? I hope everything's good with you and everybody over there. Billy says, tonight on a very special episode of R9cast, SG talks about PlayStation. Hello. Yes. Actually, we were talking about the new graphics cards that were coming out. The NVIDIA stuff. We're talking about all that stuff, man. You missed it. But yeah, I mean, you know, You look at the landscape, it's gonna be dope because all these new graphics cards is coming out. They look so. It's like, oh, these games are gonna be so good. And besides just games, right? I'm looking at it on like a CG level as far as like me and my pipeline, and like I'm trying to learn how. Okay, I'll show you guys. I'm trying to learn. I'm. What is this? Oh, remember that? Okay, let me close that one. I'm trying to learn. Oh, remember that? Let me just load this up real quick. I'm trying to learn how to model character models, not just CG, but character stuff. And it's tricky, and so that's where I'm like looking at GPUs and stuff. I'm like, oh, okay, this is okay. I was gonna say, oh, probably not gonna load. So this is how far I've got. It's bad. The whatchamacallit's are really bad. Let me turn off the shades. Why is that still like that? Mirror. Okay. Why is it still smooth though? It shouldn't be smooth. Oh, it didn't. I know why. But yeah, so I'm trying to. Oops. I'm trying to learn this, right? And it's really about loop cuts and simplicity, and I screwed up a whole bunch. There's a whole bunch of triangles in there, and I got to fix it. I had ears on it, but I took it off because they were bad. I'm still working on the arms and it's a bunch of stuff, but this is what I'm learning in order to get good. Anyway, don't save. Bond says... Levin stopped playing Borderlands 2, gave my girlfriend the TV so she can watch something. Okay. Blender? Yeah, Blender. Arioka says TV, sports, Call of Duty, dogs. But anyway, that's where I'm looking at this whole GPU announcement has got me excited. I'm waiting for Radeon and AMD to see what they're going to do. And I'm definitely gonna upgrade when I do my I'll do my motherboard, CPU, and RAM first, and then I'll wait to see what they do on the AMD side as far as graphics cards, and that's making me excited because that way, I could run cycles and not have my computer like melt. You know what I mean? I'm on Eevee right now because it's like cycles is crazy. So yeah, it's a lot of things that are making me excited about the technology that's coming out. Not just, video games, Sony's better, PlayStation, Xbox is better. No, it's not really about that. It's just, it's the other stuff that I do on the side or in my own time that actually calm my brain, that make me excited. I can play other people's games, but I do the music and sound for a game, but eventually, I'm probably going to have to do more than that too. Very nice. Thank you. Arioka says, I wonder if games will ever use NURBs instead of polygons. I don't think so. I think it might be cheaper to use polygons. I'm not too sure. It's really just about budget. So if the budget, it's like fluid simulation, right? So a lot of the times in games they fake the fluid simulation because doing actual fluid simulation in game is crazy expensive and it's ridiculous, and your console will melt and scream and stuff. So they fake it. You know what I mean? Whether it's baked, predetermined animation or whatever, or they basically fake it with like a couple of layers of textures and stuff. Except for Sea of Thieves, but I think that is that's, I don't know if that's procedural. I don't think it's procedural, but I do think it's baked. I don't know. I'd have to look into how they do it on Sea of Thieves. That's a good question. Billy says, are you learning this because they need someone to make good 3D games for Halo Infinite? Nice. I wish. No, it's for I do music, as you know. And I'm writing a lot of songs as of recent. And if I put something up on YouTube and I don't have the video component to go with it, it's kind of worthless. It's kind of like half-assed, basically, in my opinion. So if you have, like the Gorillaz, when the Gorillaz put their songs out, right, I wasn't like, oh, that song is dope. I was like, yo, that video with the animated characters was dope. You know what I'm saying? So is a connection. So that's what I'm doing. I'm doing it in CG because traditional 2D animation takes too long, and it's not as versatile. So I can build a model, deck her out, rig her up, and animate one video, and then take that same model, already did the work, put her in another environment, do another video, change the lighting, whatever. It's just so much better, so much easier. Sure, it takes longer to create the character itself, but in the end, you get more out of it, and it looks better, honestly. I mean, it takes longer to render. But yeah, nerves require a lot more power also. Yeah. Says Arioka. Bond says they make such good videos. Yeah, Gorillas is dope. I love the newer stuff is even cooler too because it's CG plus 2D plus like live action. They're so creative. I like them. Billy says take a look at Adobe Character Animator 2. Really cool though. Locked behind Creative Cloud, which is about that's why I stopped using Adobe stuff. I was like, look, I'm not gonna. They jumped on that subscription thing way before anybody. I'm not gonna say way before anybody else, but I just once they went subscription Adobe, I was like, I'm out. That's when I said, hey GIMP, how you doing? If you ever want to do 2D animation, yeah, I have GIMP. GIMP has the 2D animation thing. Also, Blender, honestly, Blender is just the best. Blender does 2D animation, but it's actually in a 3D space, so you can actually do hand drawn 2D/3. It's not hard to explain, but Blender's just better. Blender, and it's free, and it keeps getting better. You can't, man. I'm like, why are you still using 3D Studio Max? Why are you still using Maya? Blender, it's better. Oh. Bond says, if they was to make an Netflix series or a film. Oh yeah, that's true. I'd like an anthology, anime, Gorillas anime. That'd be dope. Yeah, those characters, that'd be dope. Definitely a series or film. I kind of tend to like anime or animated films because they tend to have a higher budget and the animation quality tends to be better, in my experience. Although there are some exceptions as far as like anime or series, but they're few and far between. Arioka says, I hated Adobe Cloud. I still use CS6. Yeah. I want to own my software. Yeah, that's true. Bond says, I got off Adobe just as they began to do the pay-to-use BS. Yeah, a lot of people, I think, got turned off from the Adobe Cloud stuff. I know I did. And I was using Adobe, I think CS4. And then I think that computer died, and I was like, forget it. It's like that thing was so huge anyway. It took up so much. I was having problems with it. I was like, you know what? I don't use Photoshop that much anymore anyway. So I got GIMP, and it worked. It's perfectly fine for what I needed for it to do. Cause like when I do CG stuff, I don't do still images. First of all, well, I'm gonna do a loop GIF or looped video for my first page, which I'll show you real quick. My computer might die on this one. I have a CD copy of CS5. CS6 was the latest version available on disk before the cloud. Okay. So this is the OBS startup screen is what I'm making. And it's animated, and I'm not gonna play it because it's gonna be rough. It's gonna be like 2 frames a second, so you're not gonna be able to see it anyway. And it takes a while for the textures to load, but I'm not the type of dude to take like a CG thing and then pull it into Adobe, Photoshop, whatever, and then touch it up. I'm gonna do everything in Blender with lights and blah blah blah, right? So, ask me, Electron Bennett. Start soon. So everything I've done here is in Blender, except for her. She was a model I got from. It was I forgot where it was from, but it was like 4 different models, like anime girls, and I tweaked her nose and I added her eyes because she didn't have eyes and eyebrows and stuff, and hair, of course. She didn't have hair. She was bald. Billy says, "Damn, it looks nice." Oh, thank you, appreciate it. Bonds also says, "I was just beginning to learn it, then bam, here they come $1. Yeah. So I haven't finished this. I want to do some more anime because at first I had drawn a 2D picture of, and this is the silhouette here. But I decided to do all 3D. So there's a cat back here, and he does a little meow. Let me see if it'll play. Let me see what the frames are. Oh, it's not that bad. Frames are probably like 15 or something. Yeah, 12 frames a second right now. So she does like a little, she does a little movement. She blinks. I was going to move her head, but I couldn't figure out how to tie the eye objects to the actual skeleton because I got it from, just a general use purpose, whatever. So, I mean, I can use it, but it's locked. So I was like, you know what? I can't do anything with it. So I'm building my own character and I'm going to rig it up so I can use it. I'm going to replace her with my own character. That way I can fully animate her. So that's what I'm learning right now. I'm teaching myself how to build a model. When the model's perfect, then I have to rig it up, rig the face, rig the eyes, everything. I'm going to rig the whole thing, fingers, everything, so that I can use her on everything, basically. And so the color, I mean, you see it switches. It kind of switches back when it goes back to 1. It's a 240 frame loop. But it only does that because it's not going to look like that when it renders. It'll render smooth, so when it goes back around, I just copied the keyframes from first frame to 240, and so it'll pop back real good. So it's an endless loop, basically. So this is what my start screen will be on my streams once I finish it. I wanted to add more stuff. I wanted to add a couple more characters, like one with their legs kind of dangling and looking at their phone. Everybody's looking at their phone, basically. And I wanted to have like a slot in the door where it opens up and you see like a couple of eyes and then closes back again or something. Just maybe some more stuff. Maybe some more pictures and posters on this wall. I got Xbox there. Master Chief is there. There's some of my old art and some other. There's a picture of me and my cat. Rest in peace, Charlie. Back there. And there's a couple of boxes there. I was gonna put a cat on top of there too. It's like just subtle stuff. There's a bunch of garbage in the back there, but you can't really see it. So I just wanted to kind of add the ambiance, basically, of kind of like a back alley. This is like a special secret place you could come in, my speakeasy for video games or whatever. I don't know. So that's where I'm at so far with it. I gotta work on it some more and replace her and stuff. But yeah, so that's what I'm doing. And I gotta put some more graffiti and stuff on this wall. But anyway, maybe some garbage on the stairs. But that's where new graphics cards like, yo, this will make my life so much easier. And then now it's just an Eevee, right? So I know it was a little grainy because I have everything kind of turned down, but once you render it, it takes maybe 3 to 5 seconds per frame in Eevee. But in Cycles, it takes so much longer. But Cycles is actually ray traced. It's ray trace reflections and light bounces in Blender, but Eevee is screen space reflection. It's like video games basically now, so Cycles takes a lot more. It'll take a minute and a half for one frame versus 3 seconds. So it's like, there's no way, I can't do it. But now they have a few different plugins where it simulates ray tracing. So it's almost as good as ray tracing. I think that's what actually the PlayStation 5 is going to do a lot of, but yeah, it's like they fake the funk on a lot of that stuff. As far as in Eevee for Blender, for the ray tracing stuff. I mean, the Cycles is real ray tracing, but the Eevee stuff is the new stuff that I haven't downloaded it yet. I haven't even downloaded the new version of Blender 2.9. I think they're at now. I'm at 2.82, so I got to download that and stuff. But yeah, man, it's that stuff. Like I said, graphics card, all this innovation in these specific areas are getting me excited because it makes my workflow easier. It makes the possibility of me to work fast. It's just on me to get good, GG, up my skills on modeling, make this stuff look good. And I don't have any doubt of I can get there. It's just me sitting down, putting in the work, putting in the practice, and doing it the right way. And for that model, I did it the wrong way, exactly all the way the wrong way, right? But instead of starting over, I said, I'm going to fix this one so that A, I know how to fix it when something's wrong, and B, I need to learn. So what I'm doing is I'm going back and I'm actually creating kind of new loops around where they need to be, around the eyes, around the mouth, nose, and all that stuff. And that's how they do it. They create a loop of polygons around like a face, the eye, and stuff. and then they go from there and extrude out and go around and go around, and then they connect them in certain ways. And that way, when you see a mesh that is all quads, no triangles, all quads, and it's like perfectly kind of spaced and even, and it just looks good. You're looking at it like, whoa, that's a good looking mesh right there. You know what I mean? And it's like art in itself, basically. And that's what I mean, this is the first human type of model I've tried to do. So I'm not exactly happy with it, but I'm not so discouraged, whereas I'm gonna be like, oh, I'll forget this or whatever, you know. I'm too stubborn to give up. I want to, and I need to get good at that so that I can proceed in my plans of taking over the world. Just, you know, no, just said, you know, making the videos that I need, that I feel can go with the music that I'm creating. I'm creating a lot of music, mainly for the game, but it's also spurring, flaming up inspiration in other areas. Like I have a Mandalorian song that I'm working on for the release of Mandalorian Season 2 in October, unless they delay it. I have a Halloween song that is basically written, but I have to redo the vocals on and probably redo the music because I wasn't too happy with it. And I have a Trump song that I'm working on that I think I want to get out before the election. I mean, I have an idea for the video first, which would be live action with some effects, but I think that one's going to be further back because the Halloween song is done. I just have to shoot it and the elements, and I have the concept and everything. I just need to shoot it and redo, like I said, the music and redo the vocals. And the Mandalorian stuff, I have to finish writing the verses and the hook. The music is pretty much done, but I need to do CG on that one as well. Let me pull that up. The Mandalorian, it's a good show. I gotta find it. What is this? 3D models? It might be in here. Mohawk Kitty. It's not there. Let's see if it's Mando. Mando's not in there. No. I think. Oh, it's in Blender. I know it's in here. I gotta organize my files a little better. Actually, I was making a ship for You Will Die Too for Derek H. I'm pretty sure he's not gonna make that game, but I was doing that just for him to make him feel better at one point. But that's that one. But where is the Mandalorian? It's the Razor Crest, right? Razor Crest. Ray. It's not here either. What the hell? This is not good. I lost my Razor Crest. Razor Crest. Hold on. It should be in Mando, but it's not in there. I have to find it. I'm pretty sure it's on my desktop. Is it gonna? No. Razor Crest. That's the name of his ship, by the way. If you guys didn't know, Adrift. Is it in there? I could have swore it was in. Huh? Oh. I don't know what that is. So it's not on Blender, at least I don't think. I have a lot of caches. I should probably empty out the caches. I'm gonna find it. Dang it. 3D. I did an EQ, 3D EQ 1 point. Make sure. This was the Grasher ship that we're probably not gonna use. That I was working on. Wow. There it is. Which is okay. It's not the best ship, but I was just it was based off of a silhouette. That was the silhouette basically, and this is what it came up with. It's not bad actually. I look at it, I'm like, oh, it's not bad in space. It's all right. It's not the best, but whatever. Razor Crest. Cardboard. Yeah, that's weird. All right, so it's not there. Razor Crest. I think it. I could have swore it was. It might be an art. Razor. It's right here. Jesus Christ. Right in my face. But yeah, I have to. So that's not the right one. This is one I downloaded from somewhere. This is not the one. This is not the one I'm gonna use because I didn't do this one, so I'm not gonna use it. I mean, I might use it if I have to. Worst comes to worst, and I can't finish the model that I'm doing, then I'll use that one. But hold up, let me see something here. Empty. Solitaire. Because this one has, I think this has an interior too. Does it? Let me see. No, it doesn't. Wait, it. Huh. Hold up. Yeah, no, I didn't do this. Alright, so, Razor Crest Blend. Save that. So that's there. Razor Crest, posters. My brain is hurting right now. I don't know what happened to this freaking. So that's in 3D models. Yep. Desktop Blender. Oh. Yeah, I think that is the one. Huh. Alright. Well, anyway, I was working on that for the Mandalorian video for. What did I call? I'm not too sure what the song is called yet. I don't think I have it. Actually, I have it over here. I could play a little bit for you. Close this. I got multiple computers going. You know what I mean? Multiple computers. I need a new mouse pad because, believe it or not, where is it? Stream Jams. I think it's in there. And this one is called. I think I call it This Is the Way, right? Yeah. No, I didn't. Oh, whatever. I didn't do a There it is. Sorry about that. So basically, I took the same tempo as the actual theme of The Mandalorian, and I use that. There's a flute over there. I have a little bamboo flute. I use that as a toot, toot, toot. And I use a guitar and a violin for the plucks, and some VST strings and stuff. So yeah, it's so basically it'll just be a lot of panning around the model and stuff, and probably going in up through the model and ending on Baby Yoda's head or something like that. But I don't know if I'll be able to do that at this point. But I have half of the first verse written, and this song is pretty much done, and some tweaks, but for the most part, as far as how it feels, that's what it's gonna be, you know. And it's loose, and it's, you know, it's not like exactly, you know, on the beat, basically, as far as the playing it, because playing live, I'm not good. So I could barely get those blink blunk blink blunk. But it sounded cool. I was like, all right, that's okay. So I went with it. So I mean, worst comes to worst, I'll just attribute, you know, obviously I'll attribute the base model to whoever created it, and then I'm gonna have to build out the inside actually. And that's the end of that song. Oh, it loops again. I'll let it play one more time. So I have to build out this. This is actually big. So I have to build out the 2 levels. So this level, and then there's, you know, up to the cockpit, which is up here. So I'd have to do. Wait a second. Did he just reverse? Yeah, this is, hold up. This is just the, okay. This is not right. This is not even accurate. I have to change this model because there's only a door on one side, right? Is there a door on both sides? I don't remember. I don't know. But of course you would only build half of it. Come on, son. So that makes sense. And there's some, I mean, it's not exactly accurate 100%. And I'm looking at it. So, okay, let's try something real quick. All right, so let's select it. Let's go here. Let's add a modifier of the, not remesh, what is it? Subdivision surface. It's probably gonna break my computer, but it's broken my computer. Oh, just to let you know, it's frozen. So hopefully it won't die altogether. I'm gonna close this YouTube, so hopefully it'll help a little bit. There you go. Come on, spin it up. Yeah, it's a lot of oh my gosh, I didn't realize how many freaking I shouldn't have done that. There's 1,000,004 tries on there, 1,000,004 faces. So this is gonna take a while, but anyway. But yeah, that's that. Let me turn this off here. But yeah, so I'm working on that. And like I said, going back to why I'm excited about these graphics cards and the innovations of the graphics cards and all these things, it's all tied to this creative side, not the game stuff. Because honestly, I would probably spend more time doing music and doing this stuff than playing games, to be real, because it's more satisfying. You know, I mean, you play games to escape, to forget about some stuff, but when you're up in here, when I'm up in here in my studio, my bungalow studio, I feel better when I do a track and I got a track going and I'm like, yeah, and then you go and hey, good night studio, and then you come back and you totally forget what you did the night before, and you press play and you listen to it like it's the first time. It's not, but with fresh ears, and it's like, oof, like this song. This is a song for the game called Grashers, and I have to write it. I think I'm gonna call it it's called Trapped right now, and it's the first song that I've done that in the trap genre. I've never done trap music before, and this is the first one. And it's okay. It's not bad. But like when I hear like the rhyme that I'm gonna write to it, I'm like, okay, that'll work. I still gotta add a lot to it, but I did this yesterday, and I was sick yesterday. And I was like, I was out of it. I was sick. I was like, oh. And I did that. And I was like, okay. And I came back today. I was like, oh, yeah, that's pretty good. And so, you know, doing stuff like that, I'm like, yeah, I like to do that. And I can write the track. And yeah, I can write it. I can have a song. But I need to do more in order for it to be out there and for the people, I would say, people enjoy more. And to get noticed. I'm not trying to be like a superstar or anything like that. But, you know, if I get some money from it, from the stuff I like to do, that's the goal, right? Instead of fucking slinging mail, especially with your boy, the boys out there trying to wreck everything, destroy the post office. I'm like, look, I don't know how long I'm gonna be a mailman, so I better start taking this more serious, because someday I might have to actually do music for a living. You know, so that's that one. I'll leave that on there. This thing is still going. Look at it. Look at it, it's still calculating. So it'll calculate, it'll spit out over 3 million. Yeah, that's too much. I should have decimated this before I tried this. I don't know why. Whatever. Can I stop? I'm gonna have to control. I'll delete this bad boy. 1 second, guys. 1 second. Where is it? There we go. Let's kill it. Uh-oh. End process. Cancel. There we go. Yay, we did it. We did it. We did it. We did it. And we didn't crash. Good job. Good job, everyone. All right, so last stuff. I know it's 9 o'clock and it's past our curfew, but we're going to talk about this stuff real quick. The last stuff real quick. And it is both of these. These are tied together. So put you there. We'll put you there. So, on Polygon, they say PS5 won't be backwards compatible with PS3, PS2, or PS1. Ubisoft says this is the Ubisoft support page, right? And so they're saying transition to play, right? How do you go from PS4 to next gen? And they got all this stuff right here, right? And here's the thing. I think it was after this line right here. That's where it said PS5 won't be backwards compatible. Let's see if they have the actual code in here. Reach. Nope, they don't have it in here. But they just have it. That's weird. Yeah, the PS5 will not be backwards compatible. Well, they didn't. I forgot. It was similar to that wordage, but it was right below here. They updated this site, Ubisoft, and they took that line out. And I was like, what? I know Sony went up and like, what are y'all doing? Don't tell them that. Shh. Any bad news to make it seem like the PlayStation 5 isn't the best thing in the world is bad news, right? And they want to hide it. Don't hide it. Tell us what you're selling us. Can it play PS1 games? Yes. I mean, the answer is yes. Just subscribe to PS Now and you can play all the PS1 games. I mean, whatever's on there. So when they say yes, yeah, you can play them. They're not lying, but you know, sure, you can play some PS3 games too on PS Now. It's different. It's not, you know. So, and it's not backwards compatible. You know, you have to buy them on, or pay for PS Now in order to gain access to them. So it's not. Once again, it's messaging, right? And the fact that the fans were kind of propagating a false narrative of, you know, PS5 is going to be backwards compatible all the way to PS1. I think Hip Hop Gamer started that one, or somebody started it. I know he perpetuated it too, or propagate, whatever. The messaging is bad. They are having to correct all these bad newses basically, and you know it's not a good look. And Xbox has shown, Microsoft has shown that backwards compatibility done right is good. Nintendo has shown that they will charge you forever for backwards compatibility. They're charging you for the new Mario Sunshine and Mario 64 and Mario Galaxy for a limited time. Got the Nintendo Vault going. They should just call it the Nintendo Vault and just bite off of what Disney did, honestly. But yeah, that was kind of messed up. And the fact that Ubisoft had to take that verbiage out of their site means, let me see, is there gonna be questions on here? Oh, I don't want to sign any shit. Nope. Oh wait. Nope. Oh wait. Nope. No comments. Right. Nope. I should go to Twitter and see what they're saying. But anyway. But yeah, that's about all I got. It's regardless of, I mean, you know, we're in the apocalypse. The world sucks right now. But looking at everything outside of everything sucking, there are some exciting things when it comes to just being a nerd like me and wanting to just make stuff like me and not being frustrated by the things that happen in the world that I should be frustrated by or pay attention to, but I only have so much bandwidth and I cannot stress over things that I cannot control or change. Now, some people say, oh, but you can change, you can make changes, and there's different ways to make changes. Honestly, big picture, no, I can't. Big picture, the rich people will have the power. That's kind of how the world works. I mean, I've got no misconceptions about those things. So I'm not gonna go out and protest because well, first, you know, brown skin and cops don't usually mix. I'm in Florida, so that's bad news regardless. I don't want to, Rona, you know what I'm saying? Going out in general is something I don't do anymore because Bridget's crazy scared of Rona, and as she, she's the right mind to be. Nobody knows, but it's just better safe to stay home. I got enough toys here to play with. You know what I mean? I don't need to go out and look at the sunrise and just go to the beach. Nah, son. I live in Florida for a long time. I have been to the beach a handful of times. I wasn't going to the beach a lot before. Don't need to go now. We're going to have a party. Have fun. I'll be at home playing Xbox. Just saying. It just makes more sense until all this stuff gets settled, gets sorted out. I'm going to be home streaming, making music, teaching myself to be a better artist, making the meshes, starting to rig, starting to animate. I did some rudimentary, animations on her, which it wasn't too right because there weren't any IKs on it, IKs. So it was weird. But, like I said, it's a process that I have to go through. And I would stream it, but my computer sucks. So I can't really stream that stuff when I'm doing CG stuff. I mean, sometimes I can, but not really. And it's boring too, so maybe tomorrow I'll do a little bit of streaming. I'm messing with the mesh. That doesn't take too much power, so. But that being said, I appreciate you guys hanging out. Billy, okay, always good to see you. Hopefully everything is going very, very good with you. Arioka, appreciate you coming through once again. Appreciate you. Bonds, of course. Preach with the lappy lap. Kaijudo, of course. I appreciate you as well. Yippity yep. Anybody in Facebook? Nobody's in Facebook. Nobody cares in Facebook. Nobody cares in Facebook. I'm gonna close that. And all of the people in Discord, which is Discord just popped up in there. Stay safe, my friends. Stay safe. Oh, there we go. Oh, I messed that up. Boop. There we go. People in Discord. DC Nate. Wait, that's the wrong one. People in Discord. What? What's going on there? Oh, I'm going to get it. Don't you worry. There we go. Okay. People in Discord. Oops. Oh, I can't move there. Okay, do it this way. Okay, people in Discord. Binary667, DC Nick, Derek H. Hey, Derek, I hope you're feeling good. Havoc978, Hi-Fi Bry. Nice. Matt Bradford. Hey. Shadow Next Gen, Sub-Z, Tiger Claw, Warham and Watch Dragon, and Zappy. Appreciate everybody inside of the chats. And I guess I'll close off with a music song. Not that trapped song. Something from my library here. We got here. Oh, we did. This is oldie but a goodie. This one's called 11th Dimension. I don't know why I named it that, but whatever. But yeah. I guess I'll be around. Maybe tomorrow. We'll see. But definitely next week. Tilt the weight, y'all.